Alright. Welcome back, everyone. We are live with the Android portion of today's MC5 Entertainment. Our tournament has already begun. We're running a little bit behind, so the first rounds will be happening without us. But we'd invite you guys who are on Android to come and join us live on stream with the passkey ESL123. And we'll of course be back into ESL action as soon as possible. To give you guys a little bit of an idea of what's going on, I'll post the brackets into the chat right now. I think we'll also be able to bring those up on stream as well. Yes, there we go. That's it right now. So we've got 100 Prey and Spetsnaz, both teams from Mexico, fighting in our upper quarterfinals. It looks like Huawei has gotten a bye through to the semifinals over Warface. Then we've got the two Indian squads who are playing right now, Imperishable and Dark Syndicate, and below them the international squad of Shadow and Brazil's Ira Berserk. So we'll be probably jumping into a game 2 from one of those games fairly soon. Reich, Imperishable is your team. Oh, cool. Right, what can you tell us about Imperishable?
Well, they are imperishable.
I mean, that's probably true. But are they... Let's see. Imperishable. I presume that means unable to perish.
Probably. I think that's a very well-educated guess, my friend.
Enduring forever. Okay. Can you think of any similar words if one was to try and make a Imperishable fan team, but didn't want to use the word imperishable? What words one might use to mean a similar thing?
Are you talking to me?
I don't know who else I would be talking to.
Well, Well, a word that's similar. Well,
something
what about...
that means that's lasting forever.
Well, what about just lasting?
Everlasting, I think could work.
You could go for sustained or persistent.
The Persistent.
Continuous.
I like the idea of a team called the Persistent.
What about a team called Continuous? Kind of fit. Actually, we do have a game, I believe.
Oh, we do. I'll get this community game started then.
Wait, we don't. Okay, so we don't have a passkey quite yet. Sorry. I'll let you know once we have a passkey.
Okay. So let's see. So we've got 100 Prey versus Spetsnaz, which is looking like that's going to be the match we'll be joining in part way through. We'll await, of course, the results, or hopefully we'll be able to find out who actually won Game 1 before heading into Game number 2. But we'll get things back on track ESL-wise. For now, ESL 1, 2, 3, ESL 1, 2, 3. Do come and join us on Android. Guys, hopefully next week, I think we're pretty much going to be caught up. Though I'm not 100% on that. But at least in the next coming weeks, you should be getting back to something that resembles a normal schedule. Which I believe the current plan is to have 3 weeks of weeklies and then the monthly finals as a kind of cycle going forwards. We'll see how it ends up working out. ESL 1, 2, 3. We've still got some spaces left up. As Pincet 99, or Pincel? I think Pincet. I have no idea what that refers to, but doing a pretty nice job so far.
Nice, well, you know, kind of fit. I do like me a nice job, so I'm pretty happy with what we're seeing.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to be seeing some of the players who are taking part in these community games turn up later on as, hey, Jack Reactive. Now that's a cool name.
Perhaps it's one that you could steal and become the new Jack Reactive.
You think I have to defeat Jack Reactive in single combat on top of a mountain in a rainstorm in order to acquire the name, or do you think they would just sell it for a you know, for a hearty handshake?
Well, I would always go for a handshake from you, my friend.
Aww.
I know you give a pretty good handshake.
I like to think so.
Yeah, well, a handshake is a important part of a modern man's arsenal, I guess.
I would think so. I think it would be part of anyone's. I think it's... Yeah, you've got a whole bunch of different ways of approaching the handshakes, but I just wanted to touch on what some of the guys were talking about in the chat. So Spetsnaz are one of our upcoming teams. Seems to be a controversial one, as we're seeing Mr. Blank calling them nabs and LEB calling them pro. The truth, I suspect, lies somewhere in the middle. Deedless, without knowing too much about Spetsnaz, and going merely on the fact that they're controversial, what would your uneducated opinion in this instance be on the matter?
That they're, I would assume that they're then uneducated.
Let's see. So, as
I'm so confused about that question.
Alright, well, I'll leave it there for now. The answer, as it turns out, is somewhere in the middle. For Spetsnaz, they've done pretty well in the past, but they've fallen down to some of the big teams like Huawei. So, I'd say that would qualify them as neither nabs nor pro, but merely a team somewhere in the middle, a developing squad, who, if they make it through the quarterfinals, will get their third chance at Huawei in as many tournaments. So I'll be excited to see if that does come true. LEB apparently knows the players from Spetsnaz. LEB, is there anything you can tell us about the Spetsnaz players? Any particular strong players on their roster or particular styles of play? Alaska Frozer, what the heck is this? You are currently watching the Android monthly finals. We have regularly scheduled ESL competition every week on PC, Android and iOS. The very best teams get to play in the monthly finals, and in between those games, we will run community games that we're doing right now.
And now we have the first ESL game of today's competition, kind of it. You can see it over in our coordination chat. It's going to be Spetsnaz versus 100 Prey. And 100 Prey, they lost their first game. Spetsnaz, they won the first round.
Alright. We will be heading across there in just a second. So guys, you can still join the community game with ESL 123, as I believe, yes, this is our all-Mexican upper quarter final. Should be a lot of fun to see which one of these guys ends up going forward. As you mentioned, tournament favourites Huawei are awaiting the winner of this series. As, let's see, let's grab hold of that passkey once again, and then we can jump into the lobby.
Why would you jump into the lobby? Why not just...
You don't want to walk. You're going to make an impression.
Well, I would say walking in there is probably more effective.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Is it because you are wearing...
I mean, if you have a pretty cool walk, then people will remember that.
Interesting. You see, I'm wearing a giant pair of Wellington boots. And in a world as, frankly, soggy as Britain is right now, I feel like jumping into a room is the only way to make a real big splash, as it were. Hundred Prey?
Sure.
Headed up by Hatsu, with Dax, Sass, Sabotage, Sol, MC5 November-December, Super Frozik, and Zero on the team. Spetsnaz, headed up by Malware, with Masood, Janky, Brian, Kaiser, and Memphis and Zhang. Oh gosh, that's quite a team. But that does give us the clues that Spetsnaz are in the right place. They're on the right hand side. And yes, LEB, shout out to Omni from the PC side of things, winning out the PC finals. Do you guys have any predictions as to who is going to be winning this one? Have any of the teams caught your eye so far, Dealers?
No, I haven't seen any of the teams play quite yet, kind of, so I can't say what my prediction will be. But with that being said, I do think that Spetsnaz, having won round number 1, obviously stand a better chance at winning this next round as well.
Yes, let's get the scores updated in that case. Let's see, apparently in Sweden, which is where LEB is from, it's also rainy. How about Daneland, dealers? How are things looking over there?
The skies are clear. It's actually a really beautiful day out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we should all move there.
Yeah, well, you are welcome to come here. We would love to have you.
Are you speaking for your whole country?
Yes. Are you not?
I only speak for me and my galoshes. I tried speaking for my country. It didn't work out very well.
Weird.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Alright, our last 100p players are coming in.
Yeah. Then we can get this show on the road.
So as I said, it's... Oh, actually, I should update this as well. This is game number 2 of our upper quarterfinals. So let's get that sorted out. There we go. Upper quarterfinals, game number 2. We don't know quite how close the previous game was, but given as Spetsnaz won it, and they've got the rivalry with Huawei going on, I think that we're going to need to see Spetsnaz put out a debilitating performance onto 100p here if they were going to stand any kind of chance in the semi-finals.
Well, 100p definitely are going to have to show us something else, kind of. And again, we didn't see game number 1, but having lost does point in the direction that Spetsnaz, they are at least a better team in the last game. But with that being said, kind of it, after all, we're playing for the chance to become to November-December champion. So all the teams in here today, they're playing for quite a lot of glory.
In fact, perhaps all the glory. So LEB giving us the download. Apparently Popeye from the 100p side of things is very good, as is Masood from Spetsnaz. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on them. Hey, welcome back to the stream. Let's get into this second game here on Android, as Spetsnaz and 100p go face to face.
And off we go, kind of it. Spetsnaz, having already won a game, have a bit less pressure on top of them, but they still need to work for this. They can't say they're out of the woods yet. And 100p, they start out pretty well, finding 3 kills.
LEB apparently has gathered this information from meeting them before in multiplayer, which is not a bad way to do it. Our players in ESL very much will be spending a lot of time running around in the general multiplayer pool, so there's a good chance a lot of you guys will have seen these names someplace before, as Zeng seems to be attracting a lot of attention in the early going, dropping down a lot of firepower. I think so far 5 kills, woo, 2 in a row just there, earning the unstoppable tag and pretty much pushing Spetsnaz ahead by themselves.
Yeah, good start here from Spetsnaz with Zeng leading the fray, kind of it. Having a strong player is always a good idea, because then you have someone who can carry you when you are in a position where you need someone to really step it up. 100p, they got off to a good start, but having now fallen a bit behind and having Sheng step it up, it's just looking much better now for Spetsnaz.
Masood, who we were warned about coming into this game, is doing pretty decently so far. Will slam down a kill as Spetsnaz are starting to build up that big head of steam that they will need going into the semi-finals. As we said, they have to crush 100p in order to stand a chance against tournament favourites Huawei. And right now it's looking like we're headed in that direction.
But even Huawei can't say that they're gonna win this tournament without having to go through a few strong teams as well. Kind of fit down in the lower bottom of the bracket. Ira Berserk are waiting, and they will also be looking to win this tournament.
Yes, I'm gaming this whole tournament and all community games for the rest of today will be on Android exclusively. So Android players, this is your chance to come onto stream as Acing. Doing a nice job as well. Managing to control those big, wide outdoor spaces. To check in with Masood, who's gone crazy here. Masood and Zeng, both on 9 and 2. They are just ripping up 100p.
And not gonna give them a single chance of making a comeback kind of fit. This is their game. Spetsnaz, they just need 11 more kills to have won this series.
Remembered, yes, our first game between these two happened off stream. As Spetsnaz, with 4 minutes left on the clock, they are just destroying here as Memphis grabs 2. It's looking like we might even have a three-way contest for MVP in this round, because there is 3 players from Spetsnaz who have double digits kills.
Kind of, it's not even destroying, it's annihilating at this point in time. They are just looking so goddamn good, and no one can stop them.
With that, we say goodbye to the 100p squad. The All-Mexican opening quarterfinals has gone definitively in Spetsnaz's favor, and they are set themselves up. Masood may look cheerful with that beard and glowing red nose, but we know within lies the heart of a killer.
Are you saying that Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, is a killer?
When it comes down to it, the results speak for themselves.
That's true, kind of fit. So Rudolph is a killer, and you are Santa Claus. I knew it all along.
It's my secret identity. Masood, Zeng, Memphis all did extremely well in that last game. Guys, we're going to be opening up to your once more ESL 1-2-3. We're going to set up a game right now. Thank you, LEB, for the intel on that last game, as Spetsnaz sharpen their trident of those 3 fantastic players on their way to their most important game of the whole tournament for them. They'll be going up against perennial winners Huawei in the upper semi-final shortly. Let's fill the time between those precious moments with as many games on MC5 on Android as we can.
Next up, our next series will be Spetsnaz versus Huawei, as our admin Danny W is letting us know. An update to the bracket: down in the lower semi-final, Ira Berserk have already advanced and are waiting for their next opponents.
There you go, the team from Brazil getting the 2-0 over the international Shadow squad. We'll see how things play out in the end, but do come and join us. We will, of course, be going on to a semi-final as soon as one is available. That doesn't mean you guys don't have the chance to play live on stream. The updated bracket is currently in the chat, so if you want to follow along from home, you can. Giving the shout out to the Android players as fierce fighters. I think that's very much the case. Well,
you know, kind of it. Android players, they are obviously fierce fighters, and they tend to be impressive always, I feel like. But when we look at them compared to, let's say, iOS players, then they are still pretty damn impressive. iOS players, they're good as well, but you know, there's just a different chemistry between the different platforms.
We certainly appreciate you guys from all the platforms, but yes, you're right, there's certainly a different feel between the different platforms. As, oh, I guess you must not have been here before when we had the conversation about the way which we play custom games. So, we play our custom games by similar rules to the ESL competition. We can't do it, currently there's no way for us to do it exactly the same way, but we try and keep to the same spirit. So in ESL competition, we don't have prestige weapons allowed because when they were allowed, everybody used Dreadeye all the time, and that was about it. Now instead, there's actually a pretty good variety of classes that see play. So, personally speaking, I'm not in any real hurry to get back to Prestige Town.
Well, kind of it. I can only say the same. I thought it was fun, but it wasn't as fun as as having the current landscape of MC5. When you don't have prestige weapons, the window for killing someone is much lower than when you have those prestige weapons and you can just one-shot people.
Yes, just a degree of difference, honestly, is the main thing that happens here. As we can see, we've on both of our teams, I think we've got, let's see, yeah, we've got a big variety of classes. So at one point, everyone was playing Assault, or everybody was playing Sniper, and you could tell that the game, wasn't maybe as balanced as it could be because that was the case. Now when you look at those class icons along the bottom, you don't even see two instances, well, with one exception, you don't see two instances of the same class on the same team. So at least the perception is that most classes are viable enough to be playing in these custom games at the very least.
Good points, kind of it. Good points, but now with that being said, kind of it. How are you feeling about Huawei versus Spetsnaz? Who do you think could be the winners of that one?
Well, I'm going to have a quick look into Huawei's recent history, just in case my intel on them is not what it should be. Let's see. So, Huawei, they did lose out to Dark Syndicate in the September-October final, so that's the one preceding here. Dark Syndicate are in the lower bracket right now, so Huawei, while they've had a lot of success in the past, I think they are not an unbeatable team. So I love to see Spetsnaz come in and take out tournament favourites in the semi-finals. Whether that's likely, I think depends on if we can see Memphis, Zeng and Masood from this Spetsnaz squad perform quite as strongly as they did before.
Well, kind of, let's cross our fingers that that is going to be the case, and if they can do that kind of thing, then surely there's going to be a lot on the line in this game. But just to update everyone, we are still waiting on that passkey. We're still waiting to figure out what's going to happen here moving forward in the tournament. As far as we are aware, Spetsnaz is going to face up against Huawei in the upper semi-final. We're not sure who Ira Berserk will face up against in the lower semi-final, however.
Shinsuke, hey, nice to see you dropping by the stream. I'm not sure if you're very enthusiastic about the idea of Huawei winning or very surprised. It's a little hard to tell on the internet sometimes. But
It
all caps.
Sometimes it absolutely is very hard to figure that out.
Context clues, they're everything, guys. Absolutely everything. I don't know if you actually need to apologize to Nightbot, but maybe I should put in a command for when people do say sorry, Nightbot. I don't know if anyone else actually says that though, so I don't know if it will ever actually come up. But Shinsuke, well, appreciate your politeness.
Why not? Why not? I think Nightbot deserves love as well.
If you were trying to be nice to a bot, what would you do?
I would probably buy it new wiring. I mean, that's probably the equivalent to buying them a ring or something.
Oh, you're planning on marrying the Nightbot with a collection of electrical equipment.
Why not?
Oh,
don't you think Nightbot is marriageable?
Marriage material?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Nightbot does get mad pretty easy.
Hey. That's not a problem.
I'm sorry, is that your fiance I'm talking about?
Some people just get mad. And yes, that is my fiance.
Well, guys, do let us know.
So watch your mouth, bro.
If you want to fight Deedless for the love of Nightbot, do let us know in the chat as, hey Jack Reacher, welcome to the stream. We are waiting on the start of our huge semi-finals coming up between Huawei and Spetsnaz.
Jack Reactor?
Wait, who said
Okay.
Jack Reactor?
Apparently Jack Reacher thought you said Jack Reactor.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Why would you
I've
say
never
such
seen
a
that
thing?
execute before. That was cool as heck.
Why would you call someone Jack Reactor, my friend?
I don't think I did. But maybe it sounded that way
Well,
across the intertubes.
Jack Reacher would like to disagree with you.
I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. As so, Oh, also, Iron Gaming is playing in this one, who is directly from our YouTube chat. Let's check in and see how they're doing. 10-11? Not too shabby. Good job, Iron Gaming.
What did you end up getting?
I was in spectate.
Ah,
Which means if I spectate the person who wins, then I win. Ha ha ha
yeah.
ha.
So you were 100 out of 0.
I'd like to think so.
Nice.
Alright guys, we're going to get another community game set up. Since we seem to be turning up a decent amount of folks, let's see, what game mode shall we go for next?
Well, we still haven't done any cargo today. We'll try and see if we could get cargo up and running.
Alright, let's give it a go. ESL 123 on Android only for the rest of today. Do come and show us what you're made of as we try and shove some cargo across. Iron Gaming, you play so bad. Ah, don't be down on yourself, Iron Gaming.
No, I think you did well, Iron Gaming. You did exactly what I would have done too.
And what's that?
Played poorly.
Ah, man.
Ah, sorry.
I don't know.
It was just.
Why
it
would
was
you-
just so obvious.
Why would you diss yourself while also bringing someone else down? That just seems so strange.
Well, I am a strange person.
Akbaba MC5, welcome to the stream. Skateboard Kid and Pinsel 99, welcome. So we're looking for about 3 players at least on each team to make cargo really work. So do come and join us if you're hanging about thinking, maybe not this time. If you haven't played cargo before, definitely come and give it a try. It's very different than the normal MC5. So if you're not familiar, definitely come and give it a go and let us know what you make of it.
Well, what do you make of it, my friend?
I think it's pretty neat.
Nice. Well, I agree with you.
Hey there, Backy MC5. Welcome to the stream. I can see you're extremely excited. You're probably going to run afoul of Nightbot that way. Cos Reiner Gaming, welcome. The king of MC5 Android is here. How exciting. Reiner Gaming, I hope you'll be coming and joining us on stream, as I'm not sure if... it might be that people aren't up for the cargo mode. We'll give it a minute or so more. If no more people turn up, then I guess we'll switch back to a more regular game type. Have we got any friends to invite? No.
The question is, do you have any friends?
What are you trying to say?
You heard me, bro.
Did I? Did I really?
Yes, you did.
Okay, it looks like we're not going to have enough. So, unfortunately, we'll have to get out of here. Let's go for zone control on construction site. I can see that working pretty well, actually. That's a little bit more of a mainstream map. Hey, Black Zone, welcome back to the stream. Hello. Hope you guys are doing well all over the world. Alright, the game has been rehosted, so please return once more. We're going to try for zone control. Now, Daedalus, for our friends who are not familiar with perhaps what zone control entails, what should they be looking out for as they come up play in this community game?
you need to look out for the zones that you need to control.
Ah, and what does controlling a zone get you?
Control over a zone.
Hey. It's been a long day already.
Now, if you control a zone, you're gonna get points, and points win you the game. So,
You can get points from getting kills, but yes, it's a constant drip feed of points you can get in if you've got more control points than the opposition. Soldier 32468, welcome. You seem very excitable to go from side to side. Let's see. I'll just have a quick check with our admin Danny W to see if we've got any news on the upcoming game, since I think maybe our audience here today on Android are less up for these goofy modes. It seems like maybe they just want to do some regular team battle and free-for-alls. Do you think that might be the case, Dealers?
well, it might just be. Though I don't understand why. Fun modes are the funnest.
No fun, all murder. Alright guys, we're going to open it up to a team battle on the museum. So do come and join us, and I guess we'll be able to pick up more randos as well. Death Saver? Ah. Death Saver, I think, has been doing some working out, and now is the possessor of 2 bulging biceps, which they'll use to destroy their opposition.
Well, do they have some big biceps, kind of it?
I'm making that assumption based on their emoji usage. Now, while that's not a definitive answer, it's the best I can give you right now.
So they have 2 big biceps and they are okay. They're big biceps.
I'm gonna go by context clues and assume that they are okay because of them? Or do you think maybe they are... I don't know what other interpretation you can really have there.
Yeah, I think it's probably their... I would say it's their biceps that are okay. Just
Not great.
checking in and telling us that their biceps, they are alright.
Not great, not terrible, but okay.
Yeah, just okay. Well, sometimes okay is all you need.
So guys, ESL 123, ESL 123. Ah, Akbaba from the YouTube chat. Welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can find you a buddy or two to play with. The global chat invite is right there for the having. I think we're competing with a few other people's games. That's why we're having trouble with getting extra folks in. Death Saver Gaming. It's the same final impossible we can't play. I'm not sure. We need a bit more context as to what you're talking about, Death Saver Gaming. Are you a member of a ESL team? That would tend to be what I'm assuming here. But I don't understand the rest of what you mean.
Hey man, you rarely understand what I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
So cut them some slack and give them a new shopping bag.
Oh gosh. I wonder, do we not have the... Maybe it's a little early for you Android guys. I know that the... this is a different time than we'd normally be bringing things up. But I'll give us a little bit more chance. Maybe maybe it's a map thing? I'm not sure. I think, yeah, we're competing with T-Rex here, who's hosting up their own Streets team battle, so I guess he probably needs to offer something at least a little bit different. Alright, Danny W, our admin's going to check into our teams. There we go. Alright, we might start this just as a 1v1 just so we can get something on stream.
Well, you know what, kind of it? I think you are, or like just having a 1v1 is always exciting.
Yes.
Especially if the players are strong.
Well, we've seen Iron Gaming taking to the field of battle once before. Now we'll get a chance to see it all over again. When it's 1v1, there's no one to rely on but yourself. No excuses! And that's why I crowned Deedless the king of MC5 casting a little bit earlier on today on PC when he won out the 1v1 5 games to 4.
Hey. And you know what I'm gonna say to that kind of it? You know what? I will declare just the chat Uvu. That's what I have to say about that. Uvu.
A woo woo woo.
Uvu, what is this? Uvu.
That is excellent insight. Pratosh, welcome to the stream. I can tell you're coming into this one again. Very excited. But we're always glad to have you guys along for the ride. We'll ask you to cool those jets a little bit. It's definitely great when people are passionate about the game, but we try and make sure that the stream remains a place that everyone can enjoy. As, hey, look at this! Iron Gaming, who was all sorts of down on themselves before, is now 3-0. Absolutely ripping things up on a team that's down a member.
That does suck, being down a member here from the start, kind of. It doesn't feel good. But you know what? Sometimes that's what happens.
Popeye on the squad, ESL 123. If you're on Android, you can come in and join, even up those numbers. As Iron Gaming, all credit to them, they are managing to trade kills across this Popeye, showing good instincts there, even against the commander who turned round, was shooting them in the legs to avoid having that commander shield being deselected. Will put it on somebody's back, and therefore shooting at commanders in the legs is always an optimal strategy. Pinsel coming in, as we will see coming around the corner. It's Jake SGV. Nice hit for one. Quick reload on the commander tier 1 pistol. I just have to presume this is the player who's currently doing the commander unlocks, which is why.
Ah, close enough. I thought they were gonna knife them right there.
Well, ever
Decided not
since
to, instead.
ever since melee got nerfs, that if you kind of activate it a little too early or too late, it doesn't then work anymore.
Yeah.
It's dropped the amount of melee kills we've seen in the game dramatically to being almost. Well, you have to time it really well now. Because it used to be the case, if you got close to someone, you would just spam the melee button, but very much not the case anymore. As Pinsel, with a real nice grenade toss there, lands it behind the commander. Will be running it right into.
Oh, counterfeit. We have a passkey.
Oh.
Uvu.
So that's from Malware. Which
Yes, so
suggests
that
it's
should be Spetsnaz versus Huawei.
Elamu. Alright, guys.
Lamue or Uvu?
Honestly, it's hard to tell.
Uvu. You know what? I actually looked up Uvu here the other day.
Yeah?
It is an angry depiction of the. Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. The Uvu emoticon is just an emoticon used in chat rooms.
Yep.
Similar to like when you have like those big round eyes, so like do O.O. And then the W just makes it cute.
I believe it's. I'm not sure if it's an owl. Or something like that, in that kind of vein.
It's like a blank stare, but just in a cute way. I don't think it's an owl. Though I've heard about that before as well.
I think if it was OVO, it would be a lot more owl-like.
Hmm.
Hey, Relax Gaming, welcome to the stream. So we're about to see, for the first time this tournament, Huawei and Spetsnaz. We've been waiting on these guys for a while. As Huawei, the international squad, against the Mexican remaining representative Spetsnaz. They beat out their country folk in 100 prey coming into this one. And now they're facing off against tournament favourites Huawei. Dealers, right now, from where we stand before the semi-final begins, Spetsnaz, what do you rate their chances as against Huawei?
Oh, well, you know, Counterfeit Huawei, obviously, they are one of the teams that you just can't count them out. They will always perform extremely well. So, I think Spetsnaz, they stand a fair chance. but they're gonna have to bring their A game against Huawei.
Alright guys, we're waiting for those last few players to make their way in. But let us know as well what you reckon. Huawei, they have proven to be a little less than invincible in recent times, but they are still a super effective team. Of course, they have Black Zone, who is fueled purely by coffee. You know, dealers, I think I heard that Black Zone MC5, who's in the top right slot right now, has actually managed to replace their bloodstream with pure coffee. What do you think of that?
It sounds like a horrifying scientific experiment. It's like that movie with Wolverine, where he becomes the Wolverine, where they like shoot like titanium into his into his veins or something.
Oh, yes.
That was a crazy movie.
I think it happened in a few different movies, honestly.
It happened in... No, it only happened... Wait, as far as I'm aware, it only happened in one movie. And the one it happened in was... what's it called? Wolverine Original?
Oh, Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, Origins, yeah.
Yes.
That was a super weird one.
That was a movie.
Yeah. I really liked the movie, but I never figured out that Deadpool was incredibly screwed over in that movie.
Yes, I do. Well, if anything, I think that movie may have encouraged Ryan Reynolds to really get the Deadpool movie underway. I'm glad that character has had something of a redemption in recent times, as noted as well, Shinsuke, one of our great friends from chat, also part of the Huawei squad. There's a reason why the Huawei team have been so successful, even if they've taken a few stumbles in recent times. But as much as I like the guys on the Huawei squad, I've always feel like I need to root for the underdog, and that's absolutely Spetsnaz here. Even while they had those three fantastic players, Memphis, Zeng, and Masood, in the last game, they are facing a mountain here. One of the best teams in the tournament blocks their path to the finals, where they can earn their share of 30,000 credits. I think it even might be more than that, given that we've got two tournaments bound together.
Well, kind of it. This is going to be one hell of a deciding matchup here between Huawei and Spetsnaz. Whoever wins this one will go into the grand finals to begin with, but also Huawei coming in as the tournament favorites, having that title on them, and then going up against a team like Spetsnaz, who are looking on fire and on point here today. Huawei surely must be scared.
Shinsuke's the point guard for the Huawei team, leading the team forward, charging out the grenade. You can see it's going to go for a little bit of exploratory explosives, as Spetsnaz, their strategy seems to be hole up in the bottom left-hand corner. Much like the top right, there's only very limited access points as Zeng, we saw them do some great stuff before, will pop out, finds that first kill. Shinsuke getting taken out, as the first fight actually goes in the favor of Spetsnaz. They've set up the situation and it's paid off for them.
It definitely has counterfeit, so Spetsnaz off to a very good start. Shinsuke and the rest of Huawei, a team that usually performs super well, having a bit of problems right now against the Spetsnaz squad, but only time will tell if this is going to continue, because Huawei, they're slowly crawling their way back, and Spetsnaz, they're not exactly coming out from that that area that they currently are keeping themselves closed off into.
We do see little exploratory parties going out from Spetsnaz, trying to pick up extra kills. This feels very risky on their part, because if they don't have the lead, there's no reason for Huawei to come to them, as Huawei right now will be knocking on the door of the Spetsnaz base, while respawns are coming in from the back. Memphis and the rest of the team trying to find their way through, which will mean that Huawei will get caught from two different flanks at once. Down 10-7, Memphis is going off, gives up the life in the process. but keeps the Spetsnaz team in the lead.
Just by 4 kills, however, kind of fit. So it's not a huge lead, but it's something. And there we go, Zheng finds even more kills. 4-0 already. This is what Shinsuke usually performs at. So Huawei getting a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, Zheng 4-0 so far. That is incredible. As Masood, this 3-pronged trident of Memphis, Zheng, and Masood. Let's see if have they stayed in place. Zheng and Kaiser stepping up this time round. We might even be seeing a Spetsnaz team where all 5 members can potentially carry.
Would be interesting kind of fit to see a team just so well rounded, and with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go, Huawei, they're just shy of getting back into the lead. But Spetsnaz, they're not looking like they're gonna stop being in the lead at all.
Masood and Zheng, they are holding the door against Pixelito and the other members of the Huawei squad who are respawning back in. They're charging forwards like wild things as Black Zone locks down 2 kills for Huawei. Number 1 player with number 5 and number 3. They all get slaughtered though as Zheng comes round the corner, and the Spetsnaz, they are taking flight even while Black Zone tries to hold them down.
Huawei have no internet connection, counterfeiters, so it looks, because right now they're getting their butt handed to them. They just can't compete right now against Spetsnaz. Spetsnaz, a gigantic lead for themselves. I don't see how they're gonna make this comeback happen on the side of Huawei. Zheng, 10-2 as well, looking so incredibly strong.
It's super, super well done. I think it's going to be hard to deny the MVP nod from Zheng in this round. 11-2. We can see Kaiser as well doing very well. And Memphis, Malware and Masood all doing okay. But it's really this carry performance from Zheng. They have just proven themselves to be unstoppable.
Zheng is the big carry for Spetsnaz. They must be so happy to have them on their roster kind of fit. And Huawei, right now, usually they can rely on Black Zone or Shinsuke to carry. They can't do that in this current game because they simply just aren't performing up to the par that they usually do.
See Black Zone there with the Maelstrom trying to find their way through. It really feels like this is a heavy influence of the map, as Spetsnaz, they've just played the map so incredibly well that they stayed ahead, though that lead is starting to look a little bit shakier. But Masood rejects Huawei trying to break their way into the base. The whole game it's been the Spetsnaz team holding the line. It's worked incredibly well for them up until this point, and there's no signs of slowing down.
But Huawei are behind 6 kills, counterfeit. This could turn around in just a second. And they slowly are catching back up. Spetsnaz, they need to start getting closer and closer to the finish line. Or else, Huawei, they're gonna catch back up.
Pixelito up to 20 kills for the Huawei squad. This is the player to watch right now. Just absolutely incredible stuff. I think they might even be outpacing Zheng. As, oh no, I think our game may have had a problem. I do apologize, guys. We won't be able to see the end of that last game. But we will, of course, be reporting things to you guys as soon as the information becomes available. Again, apologies. It looked like we could be on the path to a Spetsnaz win, but we won't know until a few moments' time. So I'm just going to let admin know so that they can let us know in return.
Well, it did look very dominant from Spetsnaz for such a long time in that game. Huawei getting their butt handed to them in that way, kind of, it's not something you see every single day. It was surprising, but you know, sometimes upsets they happen, and right here, that was surely a gigantic upset.
So guys, let's get a break game started while we wait for our next MC5 game to begin. So we're still on Android as Iron Gaming. Yes, you can come and join us. Oh, just a second. There we go. Let's head to the rooftops with tier 7 weapons, tier 3 and below armor. Game is up right now.
Hey.
And hey, Iron Gaming and Akbaba making friends, mutual respect won the only way that counts by shooting at each other until one of you falls over. I'm glad to see that we're in the business of making friends while these friends are trying to murder each other.
Murdering?
Murder.
No, that's not very nice, kind of it. You don't murder your friends. That's something a murderer would do, and you're not a murderer.
I'm going to ask our contacts from the teams to let us know what the results end up being. Black Zone, what was the result of that first game then? I'm not sure what the gesture actually means from what Black Zone's put in the chat.
I think it means they won, but I'm not certain. And
Okay.
I'm not willing to put my head on the block for a guess.
It's the Call Me hand, or Shaka. Interesting. Okay. Oh, Huawei won. Wow. Okay.
Ah. Well, interesting. But apparently, comebacks can be made.
Alright, just going to let Danny W know that's what the result was. So, a very surprising outcome there. Let's get this break game started. I'm just going to quickly go and BRB a minute. So guys, enjoy the community game. We'll be back in a few short moments' time with our second encounter. Huawei and Spetsnaz, two teams, one place in the finals. We'll see you after this. Welcome back, guys. So it looks like, unfortunately, the second semi-final has gone ahead without us, as we did receive word that somehow Huawei managed to win that first game against Spetsnaz. We can only hope that it goes the opposite way in game number 2, so we do get to see that third game. Have we had any developments on the lower half of the brackets, D-list?
Nope, not quite yet. We're still trying to figure out who Ira Berserk gonna face up against.
You can see Jack Reacher in the chat representing Dark Syndicate, one of the two Indian squads, Imperishable and Dark Syndicate, in our third quarterfinal, fighting it for the place against Ira. We'll see if we can get an update on what's going on there. I presume there's been a delay of some kind. So it's quite possible we'll end up down in the lower semi-finals before too much longer to determine who will be joining the winner of Spetsnaz and Huawei. But we'll keep you guys up to date as much as we can.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So where are we heading this time around? To the streets for a team battle. Ooh, a classic. El Clasico.
It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah. Well, it's a good one. It's a good classic. It's what you could call a classical classic.
Alright, we're going to start this game up. ESL 1, 2, 3. Of course, you can join in once the game is underway.
Oh, you can?
Oh, you can. But we want to make sure we got on the stream.
What a world, being able to join up even though the game is underway.
The wonders of technology. Hopefully, they will never cease. So, it's not quite a VIP game, but Iron Gaming, we've got full faith in your 1v1 ability, but if any of you guys on Android want to come and join in with the passkey ESL 123, it's currently 1v2. Iron Gaming might be made of iron, but if they're going to steal this game, they'll need your help.
That's definitely true. But kind of I'm not sure which material is the strongest. Is it iron?
Oh, between iron and steel?
Yeah.
I don't know, offhand. Let's see. Iron versus steel. So iron is an element, so that's found naturally in the earth, whereas steel is an alloy of iron and carbon. So, but with iron being the primary thing, I presume that steel is stronger than iron, otherwise there wouldn't be very much point to the thing. Oh, there we go. There's a more expansive answer. So iron is malleable when hot, but when it's cold it's quite brittle. So steel, you mix iron and carbon together to make an alloy, so it's stronger, harder, and much less brittle. So that's going to expand the kind of situations you can use it in. So with brittle being, I'm going to actually try and look up the specific definition so I don't get this wrong. Brittle being, yeah, basically that it breaks easily.
Okay, well,
Oh,
that's something.
Dealers, I have some new news.
Ooh.
It looks like my wish has come true for the upper semi-finals.
And what is that?
Okay, just letting Danny W know, apparently the upper semi-finals did go one game apiece, which means that we should be able to bring you guys the third game of that upper semi-finals between Huawei and Spetsnaz for that place in the grand finals.
Ooh.
Yes, ooh-woo, ooh-woo.
Ooh. I am excited.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, one might say. This is the happiest day of my life, kind of it.
What about the day you married Nightbot?
Well, we've already broken up.
Oh no. What happened?
She fell in love with Restream.
I knew it. Those guys always hanging out together in all the same streams. Well, you were too good for Nightbot, is what I like to say, but we all know the truth. That Nightbot is too good for any of us.
You take that back.
Gox's Gaming, welcome to the
Take
stream.
it back. Or I will hit you in the shin.
Not the shin. That's my weak
Yes, in
point.
the shin.
Oh gosh, Storm OP. They are like, wait, it's... I'm trying to figure out what armor everybody's wearing.
Well, protective armor. But, kind of, you actually have a passkey.
I do?
Yes, we just got them.
Ah, excellent.
And I have just tagged you, my friend.
Wunderbar. So guys, we're going to be getting into game number 3 between Spetsnaz and Huawei. Two of the teams we were most excited to see clash face to face. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring you the results of the end of the first game, and we had to skip the second as well. So we've been teased all this time, but the third game is where it all matters the most. That's what we're going to see. Dealers, I'm starting to think that this could be a Spetsnaz win.
Oh, absolutely, Counterfeit. Spetsnaz starting to make that comeback happen. I would love to see it. And, you know, I'm a believer. So, I do believe that this could happen. This could be real.
So much as we've seen, in so many tournaments before, even the top teams, I think, I have to admit, I've never been in the position of being on a team that's been so successful that the team starts to lose focus. But I can, it seems relatively easy to imagine if you kind of, everyone gets those kind of experiences in regular life where you think something's going to go really well and so you don't put as much effort into it. I think that's got to be something that really plagues some of our top teams like Huawei, where, victims of their own success, that if they do too well, then, where's the motivation to practice if you think your team is already better than everybody else is?
Yeah, that's a good point, Counterfeit. You can't get too cocky or things will go wrong. So, a valuable life lesson to be learned. Very much indeed.
So, if we think back to the first game, Zeng, of course, doing fantastic stuff for Spetsnaz. I'm trying to remember, who was it? Was it Pixelito? Who ended up with that ludicrous amount of kills by the end? Because we didn't spot it until it had almost completed, so we didn't get a chance to really process that. But there was definitely one player who was really, really good.
Was their name Deatless?
That was it. Were you moonlighting for the Huawei squad?
I am always moonlighting for the Huawei squad.
Oh, there we go, yes.
I'm such a big fan.
It was Pixelito who ended out with over 20 kills in that first game. So definitely the player we'll be looking out for. And dealers, what's this? We're headed onto Sniper Central Scramble for the decider game. I've got to think this is going to give a real boost of extra, I don't know, I want to say confidence? Yeah. I think that's fair. Extra confidence for Huawei to know that they are in an environment which should favour their most successful player.
Well.
3 wells.
Well, you could have another one. Well, you got 2. You got 2 wells. That's a third well. 4. Oh wow, that is a bad joke, and I've drawn it way too far. But, kind of it. I am hyped. I am ready, and Liso Buck forever will buck forever. And wait, how do you aim with that gun?
Carefully.
Your iron is side is in the way.
Spetsnaz and Huawei gonna have the initial clash as Zeng manages to secure the flank for the Spetsnaz squad. You can already see Huawei are being pressed back into a corner here as Masood rushes forward as well. The 1v1 will go in their favor as Liso drops to the mat. Spetsnaz, they're starting out real strong.
Spetsnaz off to a good start, Counterfeit, but we've seen this before. In game number 1, they had a good start too, but they fell flat. They didn't win the game, so have to do better in order to convince me.
You can hear the airstrikes already taking to the field as the Black does a real nice job, but the carry from the other side. Zeng steps in and slaps the taste out of their mouth. The Mexican squad one step away from the finals, as are Huawei. Huawei are used to this pressure. They're used to being the team competing for that #1 space. but they have taken a bit of a fall as Spetsnaz win at that last exchange. 3 kills for absolutely nothing in return.
Zobak finds a kill and Zheng will go down. Suddenly Huawei, they're just 2 kills behind after a quick succession. That's basically what like a full ace. Memphis can't fight back, and suddenly Huawei, they're even with Spetsnaz.
Extremely nasty stuff. Spetsnaz, they hold on by a tiny amount as the airstrikes start to rain down. Let's find out those numbers. It's the Black who's the one pulling the team back into the series. Huawei, they're still behind, but the Black, with that success they've had so far, they're going to be raining down EMPs all across this big old battlefield.
Spetsnaz, they gain back the lead kind of it. 21 kills. The Mexican squad, they're not giving up here against the international squad with a 4-kill lead. Spetsnaz, they are staying in the lead, but for how long will they be able to do that kind of fit? Huawei, they keep on fighting back. They keep on just paper cutting Spetsnaz until Spetsnaz, they give up.
Black is still the player to be keeping your eyes on as Pixelito and Shinsuke are taken off the field. 6 ahead for Spetsnaz. That lead just keeps getting bigger. The Mexican team seem to have found their rhythm here in the semi-finals. I think that last game reset of the series, bringing it to 1-1, was enough to confirm that they have got what it takes to bring Huawei to the edge of elimination, but it's just a little bit more to push them off.
3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. Huawei behind by 4 kills kind of fit. Zheng in this game has been a strong performer once again. 7-4, not as great as in game number 1, but 7-4, still very good and still enough to give Spetsnaz what they need. But now Huawei, they're catching up again. 29-30. Spetsnaz, they're not being that convincing kind of fit. They keep on tipping the boat back into the favor of Huawei, who now have the lead.
A really good spawn in there for Lizo, able to rip up the back of the Spetsnaz squad. And that's another aspect of the play we've got to consider. A team who's been ahead for most of the game, suddenly losing that lead once again as Huawei and Spetsnaz, they're tied up 33 apiece. Zheng will keep on punching out the damage as Malware grabs another. Spetsnaz, they are recovering themselves. They've got the Huawei team pinned down inside the command center, and they may not be able to break out.
But Huawei, they need to break out kind of fit, because if they keep being boxed into the corner, they're just gonna get slammed, and that's gonna hurt, especially now when they are behind in kills. This needs to be them making their stand. They have 2 minutes to do so, so there's no reason to rush. But Spetsnaz, they're past the 40 kills, and this could be them taking home this series. They need 1 victory, and they're just shy of finding it.
Lizo and the rest of the blue squad Huawei from multiple different countries of no fixed origin. Could they be about to be thrown bodily from the tournament by Spetsnaz? Spetsnaz are moving in. Kaiser and Memphis locking down the kills. Zheng just tearing up all the people inside. Huawei, they're respawning back in. Pixelito's getting the damage down from up on high. 4 kills
Pixelito
with the bomber. Puts them up to 15, but Spetsnaz, they're so close to being done. Pixelito is a monster. 1 minute on the clock. 1 kills is all it's gonna take.
But will Spetsnaz find it? Yes, they will. It got so close. Huawei kept hammering back, but they're out of the tournament. Spetsnaz, they surprisingly win kind of it, and that means that we're gonna get into the grand final with Spetsnaz leading the front.
Incredibly well played from Pixelito from the Spetsnaz side, but Zheng, just absolutely astonishing stuff. 15-8 there, and the rest of the team more or less holding even. I'd never expected to be able to say goodbye to Huawei before the finals, but it's happened again. Huawei's downward trend continues. Previously knocked out by Dark Syndicate in their prior tournament, now knocked out by Spetsnaz. Is the reign of Huawei at the top of the MC5 Android scene finally at an end?
Well, that could be the telling that we're getting right here, kind of it, but still, it is impressive to see Spetsnaz take down Huawei. And I, for one, am astonished. It's great to see that the Android scene is getting changed up, that Huawei, Shinsuke, and Blackstone can't keep on being at the top. It's a wake-up call for them, and now they just need to figure out what they can take away from this.
For sure. I mean, yes, I think you're right. It's extremely premature to start filling in the death certificate for the Huawei squad. They're still comprised of a whole heap of extremely talented individuals. I guess ideally, if you're on a team like that, I kind of feel like your losses define you as a team more than your wins do.
Well, it does indeed, kind of it. When you lose and you've been at the top for such a long time, then that's because the teams that you're playing against, they've started to figure you out. So obviously it does mean a lot when you start to lose. It is a tell in terms of what you need to do moving forward.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, for nearly every team, that's going to be, you know, if you kind of plot this as a graph, you're going to, you're going to keep winning until you get to the point where it's either decided that you're the best in the world, or you will eventually take that loss. And in this case, back-to-back losses in important tournaments, which indicate that something needs to change. What that would specifically be, I do not know. But for Huawei, 2 different teams, 2 different losses, something, be it play style or, approach to the game, maybe just, I don't know if it's a crisis of confidence here or if too much confidence, if anything. But yeah, Huawei out of the competition. Spetsnaz get the chance to compete for the big slice of that 30,000 credits pie that's on offer in the grand finals. Guys, we're going to get this break game started. We're going to throw out another invite, and ESL 123 will of course work. We'll be back in a few minutes time with hopefully either the grand finals or the lower semi-finals for you guys. Enjoy, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, one and all. We are headed into our lower semi-finals as Imperishable from India goes up against Ira Berserk. The Brazilian representatives here today. Expecting big things from one of these two teams who will go on to face off against Spetsnaz in the Grand Finals.
Ira Berserk and Imperishable can't fit. One of these teams can't perish. There you go, that's my analysis for today.
I think good analysis it is.
Thank you, Yoda. But, with that being said, we're not Jedi Masters. We're not Demon Sith Lords. We are but humble MC5 commentators. And Imperishable, they're looking to make Berserk perish.
Fallen with some nice play there, good angles up in towards the top of the second floor. As we are seeing Ira Berserk only with the 4 players connected, though so far a pretty even performance between the two squads.
And looking that way, Perishable not being able to really establish themselves a lead. Right now up to 2, but Ira Berserk, they keep on fighting back. But we need to keep in mind right now that Ira Berserk, they're playing quite differently to what Imperishable they're doing. Imperishable, they stick together. Ira Berserk trying to go out to these different skirmishes, trying to work as a single man unit. And it's working out fine for them.
Hey Sniper Ranger, welcome to the stream. If you guys are not familiar with Sniper Ranger, they live up to their name, an excellent, excellent sniper who any team would be happy to have on their squad. But Supra for the Imperishable team doing some real nice work right now. The Indian squad actually managing to stride ahead here. Both of these teams are last representatives of their respective countries. Ira Berserk struggling a little bit as we check out the map in general. We can see Brox's, the number 3 player for the red squad, Ira Berserk, getting caught out. Portugal is right above where Imperishable are right now, trying to chuck down grenades on them.
Portugal will go down right there to Supra. And Imperishable up by 3 kills, but Supra will go down to Varrox instead. So a bit of a revenge kill right there, kind of it. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left for the two teams to find out who's going to win this first game. Our second game of this series will be heading on to Vantage. And whoever wins the series will move into the grand final to face up against the Spetsnaz team.
Up 29-20, the Fallen's team here doing extremely well thanks to Reich and Supra. We saw Supra in particular keeping those deaths incredibly low, while Reich as well provide that long range fire support. We are seeing the occasional kill sneaking through, but Imperishable, they are building up their case for being a very strong contender, even if they're not as storied as Huawei were in the semis.
No, but you know what, kind of it, sometimes you don't need to have a reputation that precedes you. Sometimes you just need to have a strong performance, and that's what Imperishable are doing right now. They're coming in with that psychological mind game, just from being good and from toying with their opponents. Ira Berserk not being able to get themselves back in this game means that they're going to have to go over to Vantage and try and see if they can make it count over there instead.
It's certainly a contrast to what we saw a little earlier today on PC. I don't think Imperishable are playing with their food at all. There's still tons of time left on the clock, but they are still going after Ira Berserk full force. The Brazilian squad just getting smashed to pieces here. The hammer of Imperishable flinging them around like a tornado.
And one last kill is going to come in. Fallen picks that up. Imperishable going to win game number 1.
Let's take a look at how the Berserkers and Imperishable squads matched up with each other. So you can see there, Reich, who we've seen more than a little bit of over our time here, definitely taking the MVP nod for that last game. You see Gary doing a pretty decent job over the other side, but Reich and Supra pretty much the two players that made that game go the way it did. Guys, we're going to have you back onto stream once again. ESL 1-2-3. The second game of the lower semi-finals will be coming momentarily, but we need your help once again.
Lucifer X just came back from a coffee break.
Delicious. I had some coffee myself.
Coffee.
So Iron Gaming is asking about countries of residence. I am from England, me. And Deedless, whereabouts are you from?
Well, not England.
That's true. Nearly everywhere is not England.
Yeah, well, I am from Denmark. Daneland. We used to own England back in the days.
Did you give it back? Did you keep the receipt?
No, you stole it from us.
Wait, I did?
Yeah, you did specifically.
Oh. Well, now I just feel awkward. I don't feel regretful, but I do feel awkward.
Well, I'm glad that you feel remorse in some capacity.
Hey, Reich in the chat, representing not just the Imperishable team, but the French MC5 scene as well. Somewhat of a self-appointed spokesperson, but hey, we're always glad to have you along, Reich. Very well played. Hero Gaming Simon, feeling cool in the chat, and we appreciate everything you do, Hero Gaming Simon. Giving up their time to make sure everyone knows what's going on. ESL 1-2-3, do come and join us. We'll have that second game momentarily. Reich, if you're still in the chat, what do you think was it that got that first game win for you guys? Was it sheer ferocity? Was it the caliber of your weapons? Or was it the fighting song that you guys were singing the whole way through?
Or was it pure ferocity? Or sorry, pair ferocity instead of sheer? It could have been pair.
Is this a climbing joke?
No. You're
Okay.
saying you're saying sheer, right? And I'm saying pear.
What does that mean?
You know, as in the fruit.
Okay.
Pear.
How does that connect?
It doesn't mean anything. I'm just weird and doesn't know what to say, and
You have no argument from me there, sir. ESL 1-2-3. Let's head to the museum as we wait on our next ESL encounter. We'll try and figure out what that joke was supposed to be, perhaps a little later on.
your joke, bro.
I know. Hey, Mr. Blank, welcome to the stream. We're opening up to the community right now. ESL 1-2-3. Oh, do we need to...
Do you need to what now?
Game 1. Oh, I see. That's right, time to quick word with our admin just to make sure everything is caught up to date. As it looks like we got a bunch of new people, including I Slayed You, represented by the duck icon, and one of our Japanese friends, at least I think so, who has got a bottle full of fire. Oh, Mr. Blank.
How do you contain fire in a bottle?
I don't know. It was air holes, I suppose? Mr. Blank, the IMS leader. Mr. Blank, do you have anything you'd like to say to the audience watching here today about your team's Game 1 performance? You guys were pretty great. And we'd like to hear what your secret is as a squad. Ooh, Jack Reacher is into IMS as well.
We have a code.
Excellent.
Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend.
ESL 1-2-3. You can still get into our community game, but now we're going to head off. As well, for Mr. Blank, if you are still around, I'm curious to see what you guys thought of the Spetsnaz Huawei game, if you got the chance to watch it. Whether you guys think that you're going to, or how do you feel like you're going to measure up against Spetsnaz. Now they've taken down one of the tournament favorites.
Well, it's always nice to have players actually come by the stream and give us some insight into all of the stuff that we don't know about.
It's to woo. It's to woo. Alright, let's get into
Uwu.
lobby.
Is it Uwu?
It's a woo 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 woo. Aha! So Mr. Blank has some insights for us, saying that they have a worldwide squad, one from Italy, Supra, and players from China. Interesting, interesting. So yes, with Right being from France, so Imperishable saying that their strength is coming from having players from so many different places, when honestly I would imagine that that would actually make life harder rather than easier. With the different time zones and different languages involved. I mean, I'm assuming that there must be at least...
Sorry, you disappeared.
Oh, will I come back again?
Yeah, why are you so quiet all of a sudden?
I don't think I am.
Well, you're quiet on my side of things.
Oh, let's see.
Wait. Can't it say something?
Hello, hello, hello.
Wait. Can you say like your voice sounds different.
Must have been the wind.
Wait, are you pranking me?
What? Let me just try
Wait.
replugging my microphone in case something's going wrong with it.
Your voice is super deep. I'm so confused. What's happening?
I don't know. Let's do a quick Discord restart.
Oh, wait, there we go. You're back.
Okay, so Mr. Blank is actually confirming what we thought would be the case, which is that the team cannot communicate, but they try and understand everything somehow. So there's the beauty of it, Dealers, that while Imperishable may hail from multiple different countries, they know the true language, which crosses international boundaries, is the language of MC5.
Good old MC5. So we're just waiting for all the players to get in here, kind of thing. I believe that Imperishable, they need a point, kind of it.
They do. Well, oh, that's right. They from their first game win. Yes, forgot to update that post game. So Ira Berserk, they're in real trouble there as the super team that Mr. Blank has helped put together is threatening it to take a convincing game 1 win. You have to know that Spetsnaz are watching this one with great interest. Let's actually take a quick dive into Imperishable's recent history. So they lost to Huawei last time they played against them, and they also have lost, they've lost back-to-back games to Huawei, and they've also lost to Spetsnaz. So theoretically, they are very heavily favoured against winning this whole competition, but based on what we're seeing in this semi-finals, they are playing like a really confident squad.
Well, being confident in a game, kind of it will always be important. If you have that confidence ready in hand, if you have that confidence in your mindset as well, you're just going to be performing better. You're not going to be playing scared, and if you first play scared, then it's just going to be so easy for your opponents to take over. But I Berserk off with the first kill.
The early exchange going pretty heavily in the Brazilian team's favour as Geek YouTube, welcome to the stream. We are just coming up on, well, just getting into our second game of our lower semi-finals. This will be the game which will determine the other half of the grand finals. We've already seen Spetsnaz go through against tournament favourites Huawei. Which team will match up against them? Certainly Imperishable looked amazing in game 1, but Berserk obviously are not going down without a fight.
No, we did say that Ira Berserk, they have a bit more of a history kind of fit. That Imperishable, they don't really have a reputation quite yet, but that they did do well against Ira Berserk. This time around, however, Ira Berserk, they're turning this around and saying, okay, well, apparently we can lose games. Now it's our time to pick up a game. They come in hot and heavy, swinging out of the gates, and they are looking poised to win this game.
And certainly the similarity between these two teams is that both of them have taken multiple losses to Huawei, the team that got knocked out earlier on. I guess the question now becomes as well, looking even beyond this series, is how terrifying is the Spetsnaz squad going to be if they can knock out the team that has previously taken out both of these teams we're seeing playing here right now?
Spetsnaz will definitely have an interesting time in the grand final kind of fit, but I will say, now obviously we haven't seen any of these teams match up against Spetsnaz, but whoever goes in against Spetsnaz are going to have a hard time. I just feel like Spetsnaz, they've been more dominant in today's Antwerp tournament, and that they are definitely a team that you need to be scared of.
Do you see IMS starting to build up? From a very strong start from Ira Berserk, they managed to hold Imperishable to an even score up until this point. Let's find out where the numbers are lying. So Supra, the player to be watching as they were in the previous round, 7-3 with the shred in hand. They're going to be very hard to stand up against. So we'll keep an eye out. They're number 2 on the map. So when we see them going in for contact, as we do now, we've got to change across. As 4A and Fallen pick up more kills, Ira Berserks managed to hold on so well up until this point, but if they start to drop kills here, it could all be for nothing.
Supra moves forward, picks up a kill before going down. Garay comes in from behind. Ira Berserk, they're not out of it quite yet kind of fit, but they're behind by 3 kills. That's not a good look.
That's, I think, a complete 8. But Ira Berserk did claw back some kills in the intervening time. Imperishable, representing India here, more than happy to just lay in full force to the Ira Berserk squad. 7 kills away from getting to the finals and guaranteeing themselves at least 10,000 credits. As 2 more kills come in. Imperishable, they're almost done with the semifinals. Gary trying to hold on. As an unfortunate camera glitch. There we go. Gary, 15-9, is trying to salvage this game. It's almost brought back. Imperishable. Can they do it? No, Gary can't find that last kill. And we'll never know what would have happened with just a few more seconds for the Berserk squad.
Ira Berserk, they got so close kind of fit, but in the end it didn't matter. Imperishable, they pick up the victory in this game. And look at Supra, right? And IMSA just being so strong here in this game, picking up so many kills.
So there we go, another 50. This one was a heck of a lot closer than before. Vantage definitely less favoured. And yep, some very strong performances again. Supra picking up the slack. Let's get back out of here though and get you guys back on stream, because we have got a grand finals to prepare for. We now know who's going to be in there. Ira Berserk saying goodbye to them. Imperishable and our good friends from the previous round. Huawei Killers and heirs to the throne Spetsnaz are waiting to see how they measure up. The best of 5 for 30,000 in-game credits will be coming up in just a few short minutes' time. Let's get this game started out. We're headed to the museum. Let's see. We'll let Danny know what's going on. And there we go. Game is open. Come on, you can join us, one and all. Alright, dealers has had to step away for a second. So Reich MC5, Go Invictus. Let's have a look. I think the current camo that's being offered Oh, that's right, yes. So, the first place being the Constellation of the Phoenix Triumphant, second place being Invictus Body and Weapon Camo, as is third. But the first place itself also offering it 20,000 credits as well. So not too shabby. Let's get this one started. ESL123, do come and join us as the game progresses. We're going to take a short break while we prepare ourselves for the Grand Finals. We'll catch you guys on the other side of this game as Imperishable and Spetsnaz clash. Best of 5 action for all the marbles coming up. Welcome back one and all as... Oh. A rather unexpected development. Reich MC5 saying that the Imperishable won the Grand Finals. Is that... Did Spetsnaz have to forfeit? Or did we somehow just miss the whole... Well, it shouldn't be a 2-0. Surely it should be a 3-0. Which sounds like it might have been an admin decision. Reich, what happened? That's a bummer if we're going to miss out on what should have been a really good finals. Alright guys, well in that case we will set up another community game while we try and find out what happened and why we don't seem to have the finals we would have otherwise expected. ESL 1, 2, 3. If we don't have any more ESL action, then I guess we'll just have to call it there. The opposing team leaves your room. Oh, it sounds like there's a forfeit from the Spetsnaz side. That's a real shame. Ah, well that really sucks. Alright guys, well, do come on to stream. Any of our ESL players still left around, any of our Android friends, for our final game of the day, ESL 1, 2, 3. I hope you come and join us. So there we go, the 30,000 credits will have to be decided by default. Not the way we'd have liked it to go. Okay, yes, apparently some roster issues from the other side. That's too bad. I hope you guys have enjoyed our weekend. So I believe in total we've given away 4,000
credits. Yeah.
Credit? Well, I was going to say
sorry, no,
euros
40,000 credits.
And well, I think it's
40,000 credits, 3,000 euros, and $1,000.
Oh, there you go. All in one neat little bow. Iron Gaming and Scaler, Ak Baba, welcome, welcome. Let's get this last game started. ESL 1, 2, 3. Iron Gaming, you love MC5 Cheese. Oh, see, Cheese is someone who was in the chat. Right, I understand a little bit better now. Yeah, Cheese. MC5 has been around for a while, but there are still folks playing. We've just finished out our 4th ESL competition of the weekend to get to this point. And by gosh, we had ourselves a tremendous amount of fantastic MC5. We saw the fall of Huawei, and sadly, we didn't get to see what would happen when these two new blood teams clash, but fortunately, we'll fully expect to see these same teams return for the weekly competitions that should hopefully be starting next week, though we'll await final confirmation that is the case. ESL 1, 2, 3, as Imperishable will officially take the #1 spot. There's a new sheriff in town, and fortunately, they're Imperishable.
Is their name Deedless?
Not unless you're on the squad.
Well, I could be on the squad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you the Imperishable official caster?
Yeah, I could be the Imperishable official caster.
How exciting. Well, there you go, right?
Totally my dude.
You've got yourself an official caster. #1 in every respect. As Iron Gaming will now be going 1 versus 2. ESL 1, 2, 3. Do come and help Iron Gaming out. They need a friend. And maybe you could be that friend. There we go. Stonk? Stonks, I guess? I don't know. It's a little bit weird.
Tonks?
It's so hard to tell anymore. I am noticing we're getting supports on both. There's 3 supports out of 5 players. I did hear people talking about the idea that the support might be too strong at the moment, and that's usually a pretty decent sign that the majority of players are playing a given class. I mean, it's not like the Assault where literally everybody would be playing it, but I suspect you can usually sort of tell proportionally how overpowered something is by the proportion of players who are playing it.
Yes, I think that's a pretty good tell.
It's looking like it's a little one-sided here as Akbaba, sorry, is 4-0 so far. What a monster!
Admiral Akbar?
Akbaba, I would assume, but
Admiral Akbaba. Then.
Hey Guild Quest, welcome to the stream. We're just bringing things to a close here on Android, but you can join us next week. We haven't scheduled our next week's stuff as of yet. We're still waiting on final confirmation of all the pieces being in place, but I believe we are officially caught up or nearly caught up with all of our monthly finals on our various different platforms, which means that we can get back to our regularly scheduled competitions, which are the weeklies, where the players and teams qualify through the monthly finals to play for these big prizes they have been playing for over these last couple of months. Lucifer saying, Huawei, are you saying that they are still the kings of the jungle? Or that the only king of the jungle is not them? I don't know. Lucifer, it's hard to follow what you're trying to say there. I hope that I never have to play against Akbaba though, because they seem gnarly as all heck.
Well, you know what kind of it? Admiral Akbaba was the twin of Admiral Akbar. And, yeah, well, not as well known, but Akbaba was also a war hero.
Ah.
Now you know.
I have to wonder if how many teams specifically use the ESL competitions as a recruiting ground, because you get to see, I think, is Akbaba on one of the teams? The name seems a little bit familiar. But
doesn't ring a bell to me.
I don't know, it might be just from the previous community games, I'm not certain. But I think this one might come to a bit of a swift end, as Popeye seems to be the only blue player left in circulation. Oh, there we go, Pope's going to join them. Pope and Popeye together at last.
Oh, Akbaba, throwing grenade. Not gonna land onto anyone.
There we go.
Well, it could have been a deadly grenade.
The deadliest grenade is the one you didn't even know about. And case in point.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, hello. Jack's having a bit of a nap, so let's check around the place. So nothing here also doing extraordinarily well. I do feel a little bit bad for our blue team. Actually, you know, Popeye is starting to pick up some points. 6 and 5 in a game where you're 12-34 is pretty impressive. Anything even approaching a positive KDA.
That is a interesting name, Popeye, with those letters that are turned sideways. An interesting font indeed.
Alright, 1 minute 30 left on the clock. So guys, if you haven't already, please do give Modern Combat give it the follow or the subscribe if you're on YouTube for our future events that'll be coming up next weekend. As we said, we'll be looking to try and get to a much more regular schedule than we have been more recently, as we've been trying to catch up with everything that has been sort of left behind in the crossover to the new year. But hey, Lucifer never came back and clarified about the whole King of the Jungle thing. Oh, I think maybe our game fell over.
Well, I think
Oh no,
I think Lucifer is saying that Huawei, even though they lost today, that they are still the best team in the Android scene, and that they will forever have his heart.
Ah, I like to go with that interpretation as well, because certainly, you know, while on a given day a team may not perform for any number of reasons, I'd hope that, you know, when you've got a team that have been as dominant as Huawei have been for so long, that they've still earned, you know, a degree of loyalty from the people who've enjoyed seeing them play before. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for us today. Thank you again to our admins running things behind the scenes. And Danny W in particular. Apologies again that we were unable to bring you the finals today. But keep an eye out for us next week. As I said, we haven't quite got everything scheduled as of yet. But we will be updating the ESL site as and when it does come through. I'll see if we can maybe get a post put out when we do have some more information on the MC5 page or the facebook.com/moderncombat. For now, I've been Counterfeit, joined by D-List. It has been our honour and pleasure to bring you 4 doses of MC5 this weekend, and we'll hope to see you next weekend. For now, good night and good games.